Last week on Doctor Who, there was people wandering around in the dark and Cybermen. Let's see if they got any more, I don't know, exciting. Oh Lord, dark. It's dark. It's dark again.
It's so cold in here.
See? That is because you're alive and breathing because of us.
Are you going to keep going on about that?
Yep, people wandering around in the dark. Hello everyone, I am Becca Random 42, the one, the only, the original, your favorite YouTube harpy. We got some Doctor Who to talk about, so this episode is so slow. They're all slow and boring, and I don't know what's worse, having an episode just really be annoying and cringe, or just being so slow I forget what I'm watching. And this episode was so slow, I don't know what the crap I'm watching. We've got some Irish colony settlement for reasons. And you blink and you miss it. And what, that new Cyberman? Because yes, this is a continuation of the Cyberman episode. And how they made Cybermen so dull. I don't know. It's like they're writing half-hour episodes that they're just dragging out. These shows have no pacing. This was one of the less irritating episodes because it didn't have that much Jodie Whittaker Doctor cringe scrunch face goodness, but I mean, I kind of miss some of the cringe scrunch face because at least there's something to do and look at. We spent so long wandering around on this planet. There's like 7 people there. You got a planet of what? Nobody. You got a planet of nobody there doing nothing. They're just wandering around in a damn junkyard for like a half an hour. She's less annoying, but she's so useless. She really doesn't. She flies a Cyberman ship. Oh, that's delicious. That's attractive. That's attractive. Ooh, I have an idea. Ooh, no. So this is a continuation on that Frankenstein Cyberman thing because reasons and science.
I like science.
I kind of miss watching Star Trek Discovery now because of how bad this Star Trek Discovery is. A lot of, over dramatic. And then you're the best thing that's ever happened to me because I'm Michael Burnham and I'm the savior of the universe and everything the world revolves around me because I'm Michael Burnham. That's Star Trek Discovery in a nutshell. It's just a lot of whisper acting. It's a lot of this, everything is so important and over dramatic and we have to make everything seem like it's the most important thing, but we're whispering. And at least with Star Trek Discovery, I can kind of pay attention to it a little bit, enough to riff. This, I couldn't even pay attention to long enough to riff. It was so boring. There's this whole back and forth of sometimes we're seeing this guy who, he gets shot and he heals or something, because he's... I missed, like, half of what this episode was supposed to be. I don't even know if I can justify doing a review of it, because there's so little going on in this episode that I even remember. I don't watch this last night. I watched this last night, and because we take the night off from Creepy Little Book on Sundays, and I watched this, and I don't remember any of it at all, because it just went in one ear and out the other. It's just people wandering around in spaceships. Oh, this is the guy. Is he supposed to be like that Cyberman that's all Frankenstein? Is that supposed to be this guy? I don't remember. Is this even the same guy? Because I remember they had one guy, I guess they find him, they drop him off on planet Ireland. I don't know why. And it even says, Irish folk music playing in the background. Is this a planet? Is this supposed to be on Earth? I know I missed a lot, and people are going to be like, you didn't pay attention. I couldn't pay attention. I could not pay attention to this episode. My mind kept wandering. I kept having to say, wait a minute, what happened? Wait a minute, what happened? And I finally had to turn on closed captioning, and I finally had to figure out what the crap they were even saying, because there's a lot of the whisper acting, which I'm not a fan of, and if there's a whole bunch of whisper acting, then I can't hear them, especially if I'm watching it at night when I've got the volume a little lower, but hey, that's on me. This expression just sums up Doctor Who, that, oh... Here, listen to the tone of this.
It's good form.
Like, you just listen to the tone of kind of the music. It's very sad, very slow, very solemn. I don't like it when I'm sent off on a mission with like a whole bunch of characters that I don't know in a show, and then we cut back to characters I do. That's kind of a pet peeve of mine with a lot of these series. And I know Doctor Who's always done it. It did that with the Blink episode. It's done this before. Wasn't a fan of that either, because in my head, I think television. I think, oh, you're setting up a possible spin-off. Like when the Golden Girls set off the Empty Nest spin-off. Well, you saw an episode that was pretty much all Empty Nest, and then it got recast with Richard Mulligan a few years later, because it originally had the guy who was on, what was he on? Strange Brew. You know, that guy who was like the dad of the Mackenzie brothers on Strange Brew. Or no, he was the dad of Pamela. That's who it was. Now I want to watch Strange Brew and the Golden Girls and the bad Empty Nest rip-off thing of the Golden Girls. So that's what it reminds me of, that they're setting up a spin-off, because I know television and how a lot of like the old school TV used to work. This stuff was just not interesting and not fun to pay attention to. It dragged. It was a chore to watch with this whole, it's the tone. Everything looks like they wiped their ass with the screen, and I'm not a big fan of that whole brown filter crap anyway. I guess it's supposed to look dated and rustic and antiqued. Okay, it's fine to look dated and rustic and antiqued, but when you're spending like half the episode on these people, and I wasn't entertained, and this is the thing. How entertaining is the entertainment? And if I can't remember it, and if I can't sit through it, I am not being entertained by it. And I guess that's as bad as being, like, at least I can remember stuff like The Last Jedi. At least I can remember that type of stuff because it was so over the top. With something like this, there wasn't a whole lot of over the top weird cringe. There was nothing that got my attention. There was no like jarring anything. It was just dull, dull, dull. Cybermen and dull, dull, dull. Oh, Cybermen are kind of cool. But and this is one of the complaints I can have with this show, is that there's nothing, you're not giving me anything. You're not giving me anything. And like, we got a few minutes into this episode, and my question was, now I didn't watch any spoilers. I've been trying not to care and pay attention because it's Doctor Who, and frankly, it's not worth paying attention to every little detail of every little, oh, what's gonna happen next week? Crap's gonna happen next week. It's the same shit every day. It's just long, boring. I might have been watching the prequels from Star Wars.
Say something about the motherfucking prequels, bitch.
Yeah, episode 2 put me to sleep. This could have been a contender. This could have been a nice replacement for episode 2 of the prequels. Yeah. So I got to this point in this episode, I'm like, is this supposed to be like a young version of the Master or something? Because he looks and acts and kind of has a similar mannerism, like they would cast this person as a younger version of our new version of the Master, who I'm not a big fan of just because he doesn't have a big booming voice and presence. He kind of comes across as a little scummy and weaselly with just, his voice doesn't have the right resonance. He's not booming enough, and that's kind of he kind of reminds me of somebody who's gonna try and hit on somebody in a creepy way. That's what he reminds me of, like the adult version. I don't know anything about this kid, so that was my first instinct. And spoiler, Master is back in this episode, because of course he is. This episode was a whole lot of, we've got to get this ship of like a handful of people, meanwhile cutting away to this boring Ireland-ish. Is that Ireland or is that like space? I don't even know at this point. So we're cutting away to that stuff to show the backstory of that one Cyberman that's supposed to be the inspiration of Frankenstein's monster, I guess. And they're trying to, I guess they have to go through on this little ship of a handful of people to go through another portal to another dimension where the Cybermen can't follow. But what do they end up doing? Well, they end up going in, flying their little ship into a Cyberman ship.
I was not discarded. I was chosen to revive the glory of the cyber race.
Oh, yeah. So okay, full Doctor Who geek out moment. I do like hearing the sounds. Like when the Cybermen start stomping around, I like hearing that vocal effect on the bad guy. I like hearing the Daleks when they bring them back. I like the sounds of Doctor Who. That's one of the things they kind of get right is the sound effects. And they got a little bit better tone, making it a little darker and a little less a romp through preschool. But man, they need to just shorten this episode down or speed it the crap up. There is the next episode is probably going to be just as boring. They probably could have done a 1-episode season finale. And this is what happens when they run out of ideas. Yeah, remember I did a video about 2 years ago now where they admitted, hey, we're out of ideas and we're not having a Christmas special. You're Doctor Who writers and you're out of ideas? What is this, Star Trek Discovery?
This is so fucking cool.
It is fucking cool.
So sorry.
And you just need to grab stuff from everywhere else in the universe and just rehash. No, they didn't even do that. This isn't like even a rehash. This is just bringing back the same tired, worn out trope enemies for member berries. And you know what? It's fine. I like that. And I would probably tune in to be like, oh, this is the one I tune into. And I would be immediately bored and not go back and watch any of the rest. I'm only watching this now because I talk about it on YouTube and you guys literally pay me to do this. So of course I'm going to do as much as I can. I can't pay attention to this though. And I know I'm a bad employee because it is so hard to pay attention to. Even the stuff I want to watch is really hard to pay attention. And of course, they're doing this modern lens flare, obstruct the actors. Yeah, they're doing that too. Probably the best part of this is the little clip in the middle where Jodie Whittaker is kind of trying to fly the ship and you get like the Cybermen coming. But really, you really don't need to watch this episode to watch the next one. It doesn't set up that much. You can skip through a couple of things if you were watching on a DVR. You can probably skip through it. I might do that again on a second watch. Not that I want to watch this again because, you know, we got to watch Batwoman still. And I think that one's a little bit more fun because it's not nearly as boring as this. But no, we've got boring, dull Doctor Who where people are wandering around. Now, that was kind of cute. They took the little mining ship and I have no idea what frame this is. We'll see what's happening.
Don't panic. Don't take any deep breaths.
Alright, so this was kind of cute. This is a little Doctor Who-y. They need to project their little ship through a field of a whole bunch of dead Cybermen to get to like a Cyberman ship so they, you know, can breathe and live. That's cute. That's okay. I liked that bit of the show. Noel from the TARDIS Zone. Shout out to Noel from the TARDIS Zone. There is a way to tell the BBC that you don't like this. Send letters, emails, be respectful, obviously. You can tell them you don't like this because you guys are paying your TV licenses for this crap, basically, especially in the UK. Like, we don't have to pay for this crap with anything other than, you know, our cable subscriptions or whatever you're watching it on. This isn't a good show, though. I mean, when the best part of it is the people wandering around. Like I said, they have too many companions. You have too much stuff. There's too much. Oh, and we're going to split off and we don't see the Doctor for the whole... Which is fine. The less we see of her, the better. But when it's just this, people wandering around on spaceships.
Good times.
In the dark. Well, this is the Ireland subplot where we see the guy from birth to death. So basically, these guys grab him and electrocute him completely, torture him, all this good stuff. Fun! Because Doctor Who, you know, for kids and science.
I like science.
You know, so we have this stuff because, you know, it wasn't bad enough we had this in Star Trek. Oh, I'm not going to show you the whole clip of that one. It's not bad enough we have that. No, we got this in Doctor Who now. This is kind of Doctor Who-y. I kind of like this. This isn't bad. It doesn't look like the same guy, though. This is why I'm confused. This is supposed to be the guy that we saw get electrocuted. Is this... I know, they're probably going to answer it next time. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Shut up. Suck a dick. Yeah, before I get to the end of the thing, I had to jump back and I totally forgot about this old guy. Was this the old guy that we were seeing in Ireland? Like, because he was like the old guy by himself. What? I don't know. I don't know. I'm so confused. And so you got this little fart just wandering around in the doctor's little side quest thing. But no. So really, this is the only part of this episode you need to see. It's when they open up a big time space butthole or something, and there's Gallifrey. Ta-da! Because remember Gallifrey? I remember Gallifrey. I remember that. That's where Dr. M from. That's where Doctor Who Lady M from. Because hey, Cybermen. Now, this part of the episode, I had to include this because, like a giant expelling colon, they just crap the master out of this Gallifrey space butthole here. This is great. This is hilarious. I don't think it's supposed to be funny. I really don't. But, you know, it's cute that they decided to bring that back, and I'm very happy for them. And you know what? Maybe next week they won't have like an hour of just the most boring, dull slog that I've ever sat through. This was kind of a nice little tail end. Like, this episode had moments where I kind of wanted to be interested, but it just doesn't let me. It just says, no. This is going to be a long, boring episode. That's the biggest problem with this show. They just need to speed it up, cut it down to about a half an hour, make it a little bit more lighthearted. At the same time, make her... I know, I hear them all over the place. But pick one. Do you want the lighthearted romp with Kindergarten Mom? Or do you want dark, gritty, edgy, depressing... Because that's the thing. How entertained was I? And when my only entertainment is at the unintentional anal projection of the master out of the giant butthole that is Space Gallifrey, wherever the crap that came from, then you didn't do your job, Chris Chibnall. You didn't. Oh my god, I didn't say chin balls this time. That's great. Normally I say that because I'm dyslexic. I guess I had to be in a rant to do it. When you can't get that right, when you can't make me interested in Doctor Who, that's a showrunner problem, that's a writing problem, that's a pacing issue, and that is a direction problem. So I'm probably going to cut out most of this review because I don't want to say it's dull and boring 7,000 times, because that's what this episode really was. I got to give it maybe a 2 out of 10 because I couldn't pay attention to it. What I did like was just out of the sheer ridiculousness of it. And I'm kind of waiting for Doctor Who to take a few years to regroup, figure out what it wants to be, and then we can come back in knowing exactly what we're getting, knowing what we can support with this. The tonal stuff, it just needs to be less of this taking itself so seriously. You can have the dark and gritty stuff, I think, but I think that was one of the things I liked about the other Doctor Who. It was still serious and it took itself seriously, but then again, you still felt like it was lighthearted enough to be entertained by, even in the most dire circumstances, like when the Doctor is surrounded by all of these Dalek ships. In the early stuff, was that an Eccleston one? I'm thinking it was Eccleston still. I'm seeing it was Eccleston. It's been a while since I've watched them, because keep in mind, this show's been, like, this incarnation of the show has been going for 15 years, probably longer than a lot of the audience can remember who's been watching this, because I guarantee you a lot of the people who like the newer Doctor Who are a lot of people probably under 30, because when I went to the UK in 2014, that was who was really, really into a lot of the newer Doctor Who, were the younger people, younger than me, people in their teens and 20s who were really into the cosplay stuff, who thought Matt Smith was so dreamy, even though David Tennant was kind of hot. But, you know, again, that's the Doctor. It's a little inappropriate, in my opinion. This stuff just needs to be better. It needs to be better. And, yeah, so if you guys do want to write letters to the BBC respectfully, I'm not going to stop you guys. And I think that might help. And also, Noel the TARDIS Zone would really, really appreciate that one too. So definitely, and check out that channel. You probably already subscribed there. And Bulls Trek and Nerdrotic. So I just gotta put in a group chat that I noticed. I get so many. Sorry if I don't respond to you guys. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. I am Mecha Random 42, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye!